Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Cobalt Plays. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but I'm back now, and I'm glad to be back. This is gonna be fun. Uh, so we're playing Tears of the Kingdom today. I know I'm not very consistent with uploads or with what I play, like, at all, but I thought it'd be actually fun to make, like, kind of like a guide today. And so I'm gonna be showing you how to kill, like, each of the different gleeoks. Uh, I know there are other videos where like it shows you how to kill a Gleeok in general using like rocket shielding and stuff like that. But I want to go like with what gear is the best to kill each individual dragon as well as what the different attacks do because each of the dragons like use the different elements and have their own properties that you have to deal with, as well as final phases, which you usually don't see in videos because you just can use rocket shielding to skip that. But I usually like to do the last phase, and so if you're anything like me and want a little bit of an extra challenge or just want to have some fun with the last phase, that's why I'm making this video today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and show the dragons easiest to hardest. And so I think it's pretty clear that the easiest is. Oh, that's Shrine. And so I think it's pretty clear that the easiest is a Fire Gleeok. I have no clue where one is, though. Because, like, I know there's one over here on Spectacle Rock. But I already killed that one during practice, and I need to wait for another Blood Moon. So that's not happening. Uh, so I'm just gonna hope over here is one. Excuse me. I really hope this is the right place. I actually got that intro exactly how I wanted it that try. So if this isn't the right place and I have to do something like and I have to retry this, I'm gonna be very mad. What? Okay. I was so confused. It was like, how did I just lose all of my abilities? I have to try so hard not to call them runes because I played way too much Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was peak. Yeah, that looks good for now. So where is it? Well, I'm in the complete opposite direction. Byron Snow Shuffle. This is not it. All right, guys, I'll be right back when I find one. All right, I'm back, guys. I just looked it up. Uh, yeah, it's been a while since I played. So, like, I was testing, but I only knew like one location of each of them. But I figured it out because I looked it up. I know I was confused though. It was in the Tabantha Highlands. Uh, it's like basically the same place. I was right next to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over what you're gonna want for a fire gleeok. So if you don't know, the so what gleeoks do is they switch the weather condition to match whatever element they have. So I recommend either going with the set of armor with the highest defense or anything that'll give you the most attack. And so I'm going to do Desert Voe headband and the Desert Voe trousers with the barbarian armor, with a piece of barbarian armor for attack up. But another thing you could do is the ember use the ember armor with like a heat resistance elixir or something. But I think this is good, and then make sure to have like the opposite element attached to your arrow to one shot each of the heads, or you can just use a Lionel bow. Those will also one shot. If you're close enough, it works like a shotgun. It it only one shots if two of the arrows hit. It'll still work though. Also, this is more of a guide for like if you're a little farther in the game. Well, so basically, this guide is for anyone who just needs to fight a gleeok or wants some tips. Uh, Anywhere from like you know start like more mid game when you have gear that could actually help you against a gleeok. Uh, if because like if you're in late game, you can probably kill one pretty easy. Okay, so I finally got to the gleeok. It definitely took a while. Oh, now it decides to be a blood moon. Now it's way easier to get to one. All right, there we go. Well, I will go ahead and fight this one for you guys. It is much better to be like coming in from above because usually you can go ahead and try to get a hit. I wonder if that'll save me from fall damage. No, it did not. Well, I didn't hit it. Oh yeah, I have all my sages out. I was doing something else earlier. This is gonna suck. But so basically, what you want to do here is not be like me. Trust me, guys. I'm just a little rusty. I used to be able to do this. So rocket shielding works, but honestly, I don't like it because it just seems a little cheap to me. You guys can do what you want, but I just like actually fighting it. Now, fire gleeoks are the easiest because their final phase is so easy. And what the fire effect does is um it just does extra damage and deals damage to you over time, I think. I mean like while you're in there, it does damage. Well, like while you're touching the fire, it does damage when it's left on the grass, but basically the fire does a lot like more damage than a normal attack would. And so you want to try to stay away or get fire resistance. Also, use the updrafts to your advantage to do that. Trust me, that is like a lifesaver. And then this will be. And yeah, so. And now you're going to want to do as much damage here as possible because once the health drops to 25%, it goes into its final phase. Any gleeok, this happens with any gleeok, it flies up way too high for you to do something. What happened to the... Oh, I never drank it. My bad. So hold on one second. I forgot to follow my own advice. So like I'm gonna do that. Oh no, what the? Sorry guys, I kind of suck at this. And then put two of my hot weather attack on there. So now we should be doing much more damage. And its final phase is it sends all three heads combined fireballs to launch a huge fireball, like just a nuke. And it's a really, really big updraft that will launch you all the way up here. By the way, I recommend using Tulin to dodge the fireball sometimes. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know how I'm alive, guys. That is my fault. I opened the paraglider way too early. But since I failed to dodge that, I can give you guys a rundown on the attacks. It only has a few. It can use a gust of wind to knock down arrows and send you flying backwards. It has a fire laser, which it took damage, fall damage. It has a fire laser, which does, which is like, it lasts for a long time, and it just like it gets everywhere, and it also does the most damage. And then the fireballs kind of like send you flying back a little. They cause updrafts when they touch grass, and yeah, and they all do the fire effect except for the wind. And you don't want to be hit by that last attack. It's basically an insta kill if you don't have super super high defense or some bonus hearts, because that can be bad. But basically, let me go ahead and sort this real quick. I forgot to describe what I was picking up earlier. Gleeoks drop Gleeok flame horns, or so the flame Gleeok drops Gleeok flame horns, which are really good to attach to your weapons, especially in fighting the ice Gleeok, which we'll cover in just a second. And then it also drops Gleeok wings. I think it drops like 4. Or is it 8? I don't remember. Here it is. It also drops Gleeok wings, which is the best weapon if you want something to fly farther, because it does more damage than key swings. And then sometimes it'll drop Gleeok guts, which I think can be sold for like 200 rupees. So Gleeoks are a really good thing to farm if you want money. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead. That's it's pretty. So yeah, Flame Gleeok, pretty simple. Because it has the easiest final phase, and it's definitely gonna be a lot harder with the Ice Gleeok. I'm probably the worst at the Ice Gleeok, honestly, but the reason it's easier than the other Gleeoks is because one is a mix of all of them, and then the other one doesn't have any weakness, and it's also way faster. Its attacks are way faster. So I'm going to go ahead and explain what you're going to need or want for the Ice Gleeok. So, do I not have the frost armor? Well, that sucks. Okay, I guess I never got that. Well, whatever. So, you're usually going to want one piece. Actually, you're going to want 2 pieces of this. So, those. And then, honestly, instead of attack up, any kind of attack up, I'd just go with the highest defense if you don't have, like, like always go with the highest defense first, and figure out how you can get a good balance of high defense and attack. I'm just gonna go with that so I don't die immediately. Um, for the bow, any Lionel bow is good. Shields don't even really matter here. Yeah. And then Gleeok fraud. Damn. Okay. Oops. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I should not have done that. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy this flux core because it is. I forgot where they were. My bad. This is gonna be way better. So we're gonna go ahead and fuse this to our Royal Claymore, and it's gonna do a lot of damage to the Frost Gleeok since it's weak to it. Only other tips I'd have for it is have food, and I'll explain its attacks, like kind of as I see them. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and find one. I know, I know I can fight this one. This one is honestly kind of hard to get to because it sees you before you have a chance to attack it, and so plus it's like in a heavy blizzard over here, so it's kind of hard to see as well. But it's in the most open area with a cliff nearby, so you can climb up somewhere if you need to. So yeah, I'm gonna go over to this one. Wrong button. And so I'll go ahead and describe the Ice Gleeok right now. It has it has the most attacks out of all the Gleeoks. It's it's Ice Beam. It already does a lot of damage, and then it doubles the damage of the next attack that you get hit by. So you got to break out of that ice like really fast. And then it also has. Yeah, this is the right way. Okay. And then it also has, like, kind of like ice. Like, I don't know how to describe the attack. It shoots like balls of ice, but it's like more of a mist. But and those will freeze you and do a lot of damage. But if it doesn't hit you and it actually hits the ground first, it splits. It'll actually split into like a bunch of spikes that will also freeze you in the shape of a snowflake, and it's really annoying to have to keep track of it, uh, of like where each one's gonna hit. It has the wind gust attack, and those are the three ones that all Gleeoks have. But then it has a bonus attack where it can shoot snowballs at you, which do a lot of knockback, which freeze you and knock you back so much, and it's really annoying. So, like, something you want to do for every time, something you want to do every time you fight a Gleeok is try to get the first hit and get like that bullet time, because trust me, it is super useful. And then we're doing a pretty good some pretty good damage there. It just broke. I have this. I wonder if the ruby staff will actually hold on. Well, it doesn't matter. Hold on. I'm gonna get away from it since it's doing that. Oh, also it's much harder to move because yeah, and that's you gotta break out of it fast because this thing stun locks you like really bad. And so just try to hit it. Oh my god. That's gonna do like a little bit of damage, but your best bet is arrows here. And then yeah, I told you I'm not great with the frost gleeoks. And so here's the snowball right here. Oh no. Yep, and those are the spikes I was talking about. So it's really annoying because you gotta keep track of where those are gonna hit to stay safe. And they don't do that much damage, but see, that's what I mean. You can get stun locked really easily. I prepared for this video because I knew I was not going to do great. And then we're going to go ahead and attach a flame gleeok horn to my master sword. Fuse, come on. Fuse! What the hell? Okay. Oh, W Tulin. Yeah, see what I mean? Those like knock you back a lot. And they like keep you stunned forever. It is way better to have, you know, on a. I like double two-handed weapons more. And then, oh no, I think this is its last phase. But like, oh, we might actually beat it before its last phase. And I don't want to do that. So I can show you guys how to do the last phase. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure. I'm only going to keep Tulin because he's really good for having in the air. Like, we're going to hit him a couple times to ensure that. Yep, okay. And now he's. And another unique thing about the Frost Gleeok is that it'll sometimes attack before going up for its final phase. And in this one, you're going to want to switch to recall. So it's going to go up in the air and start, and it's going to start hailing like a lot. And the reason you want recall for this is I can't do this. See, this is why I told you guys I can't do this one. Oh, okay. So like, you want to try to find like a decently sized one, and then start recall on it. And then you need to jump. And then so you do that, end recall, 360 no scope. And yeah, this is why I'm going to need Tulin. I need to get a little farther. And by the way, they can attack you like while you're in the air during the final phase, which makes it really annoying. But just like that, you can defeat the Frost Gleeok. Honestly, my tip is don't do what I did, because usually you like panic and try to just get on the tallest one as soon as possible. But what you want to do is use recall on a tinier one so that you don't keep slipping, and jump onto a big one to take you all the way up, because they melt as they go up. And so you want to make sure you're on a big one before you use recall, or it won't work that well. But yeah, and you don't have to use like gleeok horns to take out other gleeoks. Like basically attaching like anything that's just effective against each, like the other element, will do really well against them. It'll do extra damage. And you want as much damage as you can get, because you don't want the fight to go on for long. Which is why people like rocket shielding. Where you can just get that bullet time really easily. But this is like a guide exactly how to do each phase, so yeah. Now the third one is the Thunder Gleeok, and it's not gonna matter what you choose, which weapon you choose for this one, because the Thunder Gleeok doesn't have a weakness. So, for this, I would recommend just so it doesn't matter what weapon you use. I would recommend having the lightning helm though, because even though it doesn't have that much defense, it makes you lightning proof, and since it starts a thunderstorm for for its status effect, it's going to be way better to have this so that you don't take even extra damage than you need to. And then, honestly, I gotta do this to have as much defense as possible. But if any of your elemental sets are like, leveled up at all, I would definitely recommend using these as they'll do a lot more damage. Or the barbarian. Either way, it's good. Uh, but yeah, so that's kind of what you're gonna want. Right, it's cold. And Thunder Gleeok, luckily, is really easy to find. Maybe. If I can remember where it's supposed to be. Hmm. I'm getting scammed. Oh, it's right here. In the Colosseum ruins. I'm gonna have to find all my pins later. I would go to this shrine right here. And Thunder Gleeok, it has the exact same it's the exact same thing as a Fire Gleeok basically, except its attacks come in a lot faster and the effect is much more annoying because if any weapon you have equipped, if you get hit by the thunder, or not thunder, lightning, or the electricity, because it's not lightning. What am I doing? uh, it will you'll immediately get disarmed, and yeah, that's not good because then you got to go pick up your weapon, and then the thunder might hit it and it'll go flying, and it's really not good. Luckily, I was in the depths and I found an Igniotalis, so this is perfect because it doesn't even matter what I use. I'm also gonna have all these guys out again for get as many. I recommend having like as many sages as you possibly can out for Gleeoks, even though they're you can do them on your own. Like if you understand their attacks and stuff, it's still nice to be able to finish it a little quicker, especially if you just want to try to farm Gleeok guts. Because some of these armor sets are not cheap. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, usually I I'm not gonna spoil like anything about like any of the treasures, but some some Gleeoks are guarding something. So just like make sure to look around when you fight one because some have like something hidden in it in the arena. And it is possible to get without beating the Gleeok, but it's really hard. And the point is like kind of beating a boss to get the reward. So the reward are the just the horns though. They look really cool. This game is so fun. I should definitely play it more. Also, if you guys got this far, you should definitely leave in the comments. Oh no. Yep, Z faster. All they had in Breath of the Wild was a Lionel, and now there's this. My Lionel bow is almost done. This is bad for me. I didn't even get him. Okay. Do this and... Alright, here we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and charge this up. Just do, a lot of damage. Yeah, this sucks. But guys, you should leave in the comments what game you want me to play next or come back to, since as I mentioned like previously, I'm not really good about like consistently playing a single game. I kind of just upload what I feel like, and so your suggestions would be really nice because I just come up with random ideas, mostly so that you guys can see the games I have and then let me know what you want me to play. Oh no, come on, no. Don't go up there. Ah. This sucks because they stay there for like a while. Like the electricity stays there for a while. Yeah, see, it's a lot faster than other ones. And so this is actually where I'd use Gleeok wings. Like if it's getting annoying to hit them, Gleeok wings or any kind of eyeball, I would definitely recommend. In fact, this is probably going to take me the longest because I just hate these. Gleeok wings do the most damage and can one-shot Gleeoks, which is definitely nice to have. Well, one-shot each of the heads. Like that, obviously it doesn't take down the entire health bar. But I like to charge spears to the third, to the third sound thing. Yeah, this... You can probably tell I'm not as very good at Thunder Gleeoks, as I mentioned, but this is actually, surprisingly, the first Gleeok I beat, mostly because it's the only one I knew where it was, other than the one on Spectacle Rock. Like, see, headshotting him with Gleeok wings do so much damage. And now, you guys are going to get to see the final phase of a Thunder Gleeok. It's not fun, I can tell you that. Oh yeah, also, these guys really make sure you don't get the chance. You don't get a chance to attack them before they go up there. Oh. Huh. Okay, I guess they're not low enough. So I'm going to take away all my sages real quick. Even Tulin. Just to make sure he doesn't, do too much damage. Ow. Oh, nope. Now he's going up there. Okay. Let me bring Tulin back then. And go ahead and heal, because in this final phase, what happens is there are a bunch of lightning strikes that cause like straight up vertical updrafts, but they don't last long enough. To get you all the way to the top. And so you have to switch updrafts to get up here, which can be annoying. But just like that, the Thunder Gleeok is dead, hopefully, Dude, I don't know if I can do enough damage to it. Okay, yep, nope. I was worried I would have to do that final phase again, but it's fine. And for the Thunder Gleeok, you get Thunder Gleeok wings and the Thunder Gleeok horn. Right here. They look very cool. By type, so you can see them all next to each other. Yep. And there are four, though. The fourth one is definitely the hardest, as it's literally just everything you already fought, but they're all combined. Yeah, so you have to work with all of those so you can get disarmed. You can get disarmed as well as ice and then fire, making it do like making I'm pretty sure it's like 8 times as much damage as it would normally be. I don't exactly know because I don't really pay attention to like the stats and stuff. But give me 1 second. I gotta wait for my Master Sword to recharge. I'll be back. Alright, guys, I'm back. I just equipped my Master Sword with and fused it to a Silver Lionel Mace Horn. Because for this, for some reason, even if you hit the individual head with the element it's weak to, it still doesn't do bonus damage, so you just want the highest attack stat you can possibly get. Also, it doesn't change this the weather effect. It's just always going to be cold. Well, it's usually going to be cold because most of them are on the Sky Islands, which is what I'm going to show you. And I also recommend a rocket shield for this one specifically. But that's only me because I'm not flying into the fight. I have to. I'm gonna teleport over to it. Or, you know what? I'm still not gonna use a rocket shield. I'll make a contraption. You'll see. Oh, only 19 arrows. We got this, I think. Maybe I should go buy some more in case. Yeah, but anyways, real quick. What you want is your highest defense. It does not matter. You just want your highest defense because it's going to do a lot of damage. There's not really a way to get every single. And there's not really a way to, like, make sure you're immune to each. Yeah, to each of those. So just equip your highest defense and hope for the best. Okay, I got more arrows for this. I think I'm ready. I'll try. So it's not really any different than the other ones, except for the fact that you can get absolutely comboed by everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, okay, it is. Uh, Hold on. I need to. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use auto build real quick because yeah, I personally recommend you making a rocket platform just to launch yourself up here. Yeah, you could also use a rocket shield, obviously, but like, so you're gonna hit each head with one of those Gleeok wings. They're so useful. What? Oh no. Yeah, you could literally hear the fear in my voice when I realized they were not dead. I don't even know how many arrows I have, honestly. I just like kind of bought all of them from the store in Lookout Landing. I hate this game. Ow. See, that does a lot of damage. But yep, try to knock it down as fast as possible. And then use your highest damaging weapon. Get as many sages out if you can, just to make the fight go a little quicker. But I'll do this fight just with Tulin. Tulin, the only other person helping me. Just to really show you how annoying this fight is, because, again, you can get absolutely comboed by these, especially with the ice and fire combo. Oh, how's the fire not dead yet? And then gotta use gleeok wings now. It's there we go. It's so hard to use wings which shoot in a mostly straight path after you get used to like the arc on arrows, but it gives them more range, so after the gleeok like flies up, you kind of have to use them. And yeah, you don't want to be hit by ice or anything else, because because that will combo will immediately kill you, first of all, and second of all, any other thing after being hit by ice is really bad. It's just like all around a really hard boss just because of how the elements in this game work. Oh no, I'm getting really low on arrows here. Hold on, this isn't good. I'm gonna rocket shield real quick because I can't lose all my arrows in the middle of this fight. That's like a problem. You gotta make sure you have enough arrows. And then this is probably like definitely the last hit. Yeah, this is gonna be the last cycle before its final phase. And so I'm gonna go ahead and switch bows because I don't want it breaking while I'm in the air. That would absolutely suck. And it doesn't matter what bow you use. Um, in fact, for this phase, I'll probably make sure I use. You're probably gonna want to make sure you use. Like if you're running low on arrows, you're gonna want to make sure you're using something that will counter the other elements so that you can have as many arrows as possible. And for this final phase, it's a mix of all of them. You have to you lightning and ice will both be falling, doing a decent amount of damage. And then uh yeah, that happens, but you get the point. And then in the air, once you're all the way up there, the fire part of the dragon will shoot giant fireballs at you. So you have to dodge those. Those aren't a huge deal, but if you're not paying attention, they can definitely get you. So I'm not gonna finish this fight because I've already been recording for about an hour now. Uh, it won't be that long, obviously, after like I do editing and stuff. But yeah, sorry. But like, I don't want to have to do that again because it took like a lot of preparation. But and that was pretty much how it was supposed to go. You got to be really careful though, when because like with all those extra projectiles falling because with the King Gleeok, you have to like really make sure like you don't want to take the lightning. You actually want to what you want to do is you want to take one of the icicles halfway up, like a little ways up, and then if you see a and then if you see a lightning strike to the side of you, jump off in that direction and let the lightning take you the rest of the way up because they target where you are as you're running around and around that area. And so if you just go if you just go like from side to side and switch until you get up and switch each side until you get up, you'll be able to dodge hopefully, and then just use Tulin to dodge the fireball. It's not really that big of a deal. You could probably even do it without Tulin. Like the fireball is not that big of a deal, and usually at that point you don't have to deal with the phase again. But if you don't end up doing enough damage, just repeat the process. So yeah, I hope this video helped you. And please comment what game I should play next, or what game I should come back to and stuff like that, because I really want your guys' opinions on things, so that you don't get too bored while watching me. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope I helped, and I hope you enjoyed it. Peace.